Greetings duelists and welcome to another video. So today's a very exciting day. We just got a new reveals in Alliance Insight, and yes, you're looking right at the screen. You already know what I'm about to talk about. This is probably going to be the most absurd thing I'm going to be showcasing in this channel involving that set. I really think Alliance Insight is going to be a game changer. Okay, so throughout the history of crossover breakers, we've already seen Maliss do a really good performance in both the TCG and the OCG. The deck is arguably the best deck in the OCG at the moment, tied with Blue Eyes and Orchest, while here in the TCG is in second place, right behind Ryziel. Right now, Maliss has a very small issue that cannot be solved, and that issue is Artifact Lancea. I don't think that card's going away anytime soon. If that card were to go away, this deck probably would become tier 0. That being said, we do have new tools that bolster both the consistency and the power behind the deck, and we need to talk about them. What you see here on the screen is all the Maliss cards. But not only do you see the Maliss cards here, you see engines that we've been playing in this deck in the past few eras. And just using Brandon again as an example, Lubellia is optional, but this is just to tell you that Bestials are part of this deck. Right now in the TCG, the Sky Striker engine has been played a lot, while in the OCG, Bestials is pretty much the only way to go with this deck. If you stay tuned in my channel, you already saw that I've been testing out Dangers, and I actually like the Dangers. I actually think Dangers are a really good engine in this archetype. There is another engine I want to talk about, and I think this engine is going to be super playable right after Alliance Insight. I think it's going to be foolproof. But before that, let's talk about the new cards. We have Maliss Pawn March Hare, and we have Maliss in the mirror. Let's talk about March Hare first. Your opponent cannot target monsters this card points to. You can only use each effect once per turn. During the main phase, if this card's in your hand, quick effect, you can banish one other Maliss card from your hand or graveyard. And if you do, special summon this card. If this card is banished, you can pay 300 life points, then target one of your banished Maliss monsters added to your hand. Okay, so we now have a Maliss extender, and that is a really big deal. Like, we already had good starters with Dormouse and with Right Rabbit. Chessy Cat was not a true starter, but it was a playmaker in the deck. What does March Hare does for this deck? It does a lot. The first thing it does is it makes the deck a lot more consistent. What do I mean by that? Remember the problem that Maliss had at the very beginning? The problem that I keep talking and prefacing about in each and every video? This card fixes that. Now, if you see redundant and clunky hand with multiple Maliss names, you can just get rid of them in your hand and just summon the March Hare. Not only that, March Hare is now another extender that is not a bestial. This card is way better than Template Skipper because the only requirement is a Maliss card in your hand or graveyard. Also, the fact that it can banish any Maliss card is also a big deal. Because if you open multiple copies of Underground or just open all the trap cards, you just open in too many of the Maliss cards, you just don't want multiples in your hand, you just get rid of them. And like, it gives extra value to the March Hare. Another really cool thing about March Hare, and it's probably something that not many people noticed. So March Hare cannot summon itself back like the other Maliss monsters. However, that is not an issue with this card. The fact that it can target any banished Maliss does come up, and you will see it on in the next combo. Now let's talk about Maliss in the Mirror. Maliss in the Mirror is a quick play spell, and this card reads: target one face-up monster your opponent controls banish one Maliss monster from your hand or face of field, and if you do, negate the targeted monster's effects until the end of this turn. If this card is banished, you can get one Maliss card in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, add one Maliss card of the same type. You can only use each effect of Maliss in the Mirror once per turn. This card's incredible. This card fixes another problem that Maliss has, and is what happens with Maliss when you go second. This card helps you push through interruptions and push through boards while also extending with your plays. And the fact that it can banish like any Maliss from your hand, it's also a very big deal because this makes it another extra extender. Yeah, this card's incredible. Okay, now that I talked about the new cards a little bit, let me show you a replay. This is just a Dormouse replay. You're probably used to this by now, but we're going to see a few differences. We're going to summon the Dormouse, Dormouse is going to summon the Rabbit, Rabbit's going to set the 11. You already saw all this stuff by now. You've already seen all of this. This is nothing new. We're going to use these two to summon the Red Ransom. And now with Red Ransom, we have two targets. The fact that Maliss in the Mirror is an interruption as well in your opponent's turn gives extra value to Red Ransom. I already know that if you're a Maliss player, you've already faced this problem before, and it's the problem of seeing too many copies of Underground. That is no longer a problem with the Red Ransom. Now we can just add Maliss in the Mirror, and Maliss in the Mirror is another extender. Let's keep going. We're going to keep Underground just for this, for the sake of this combo. We're going to TB11. We're going to summon the Chessy Cat. We're going to activate the Red Ramson, and with Red Ramson, we're going to banish the March Hare. Yes, we no longer need Dustcaper in order to keep playing with our engine. Instead of Dustcaper, you can just banish the March Hare, and since March Hare is a Maliss name, it gives extra value to the deck. So now we're going to use March Hare's effect. We're going to grab March Hare back to our hand. We're going to link these two away. Well, we're going to make lead Nakamura first. We're going to actually summon the March Hare. You can switch this combo around, but we're just going to summon the March Hare as if it's Dustcaper, and that summons back the Chessy Cat. We're going to grab these. We're going to summon the Binder. We're going to resummon Link Decoder. We're going to use Binder to just banish the Chessy Cat, and we're just going to set 06. We're going to grab these two, grab Firewall. We're going to use 06. We're going to summon Ramson. We're going to summon the White Binder. We're going to draw a card with the White Binder. You're going to see there's the Hare. We're going to put the Hare back. And the reason we're putting the Hare back and we're going to draw the Bestial is just to showcase you how good the March Hare is. Because now you can grab the March Hare with the Firewall Dragon. And now March Hare becomes an extender for our next turn. Now March Hare functions the same purpose as a Bestial does when you're summoning it. Now we're going to grab the Dormouse. We're going to link these two into the Griffin. You already seen this part of the combo. We're going to grab the Griffin and that, and we're going to summon Abaoku. We're just going to discard. We're going to summon the Griffin. And now Abaoku comes back. And now what makes this combo very different from what you used to see is that if they have a way to stop 06 with Dominus Impulse, Ghost Bell, like stuff like that, now the March Hare can just fulfill the same condition as the GWC 06 and just banish the White Binder. And to make matters worse, the March Hare will make it so you can protect the Binder from being targeted. So no Forbidden Chalice, no no Imperm, no stuff like that can stop the Binder after you summon the March Hare. And if the March Hare ends up getting banished later on, the March Hare just comes back. I'm just gonna keep replaying it just to show you how the next turn looks like. Yeah, like Then in the next turn, you just March Hare, banish the Binder, Binder banishes the Rabbit, Rabbit summons the 07, and check this out. Now, when you do 07 to banish and to add, you can banish the Hare with the 07, and now the March Hare comes back. So we're going to grab the Dormouse, and now the Underground can be grabbed back to our hand because the March Hare can just target any. Well, this is a misplay. This is when I thought it could grab any card, but just pretend that this is the March Hare. Yeah, the March Hare just comes back to our hand. This Underground is the March Hare. Okay, let's go back here. That was a wild replay, right? Okay. So now we're going to showcase you something else. Remember how we talked about all these monster engines that we played in the deck? Now there is a new engine that you should actually be looking into this in this deck, and that engine is the added Nisters. Remember those cards? Yeah, these cards are now starters for the Maliss deck. March Hare is not a real starter for Maliss. However, you don't lack any starters in this deck. You now have good starters and extenders. And I'll showcase you what I mean by that. This is a combo involving Achichi added Nister. Now we're going to do Achichi. We're going to summon Achichi. Achichi is going to add us backup adding Nister. Remember this card? This was one of the first cards that got debuted in Alliance Insight. Yeah, we're playing these cards in this deck. So we're going to link away the Achichi into Linguribo. Linguribo now has a special role in this deck. You're going to see that later on. Now we can summon the backup. Backup is going to add us a Dark Cybers. We're going to add the Dormouse, and then we have to discard a card, so we can just discard the Dormouse. Take note, if you play Dangers, this card just becomes a +1. If you play like the other cards, like this is just extra value to that backup and its Nister. But we're showcasing you a one-card combo here, so we're just gonna keep going. We're going to summon Lizardos. Lizardos is going to banish the Dormouse. We're going to special the Dormouse. We're going to Dormouse into Rabbit. You're already seen all of this by now. We're going to link that into Decoder. We're going to link all of these into the Red Ransom. We're going to summon back the Decoder with Ransom. We're going to not add Underground this time. We're going to add Maliss in the Mirror. And this is just to show you how powerful Maliss in the Mirror is, because this card is both interruption and utility. We're going to banish the Red Ransom. We're going to summon the Cat. We're going to use the Red Ransom effect. We're going to banish the Hare. We're going to grab the March Hare back to our hand. We're going to link away Chessy Cat and the Decoder into SP Little Knight. We're going to use SP Little Knight to banish the Chessy Cat. The Chessy Cat comes back. And now with Chessy Cat, you're going to banish the Mirror. And look what happens now. We're going to have 2 draws, but that's not all. Now the Mirror is going to activate because the Mirror got banished. So now you're going to banish TB11, and now you're going to add the 06. This is just 8 layers of insulation into your combos. Now you can have all 3 trap cards into rotation, and not just 2 of them. We're going to link away these 2. We're going to summon the Splash Mage. We're going to use Splash Mage. We're going to summon the Dormouse. We're going to link away the Splash Mage and Dormouse into White Binder. We're going to set 06, activate 06, use Binder, resummon Ramson. We're going to use Binder's effect. We're going to draw an extra card. So now we have 4 cards in our hand. We're going to reset 06. We're going to summon the March Hare. The March Hare is going to banish the Dormouse. Now you're probably thinking, where's Cyber's locked? This end board doesn't look that good. What can we make now to make this end board just as powerful as the Abalku lines that we've seen in the past? Well, remember this card? Remember Acode Talker added Nister? Yeah, now this is our new end board. Acode Talker added Nister is going to resummon White Binder and going to resummon the Red Ramson. And now this is our new end board. Like, this is just layers of interruption, one after another. You have SP Little Knight to just banish White Binder. White Binder can just resummon itself and then banish the hare and the rabbit. The rabbit comes back. The rabbit can settle 7. The March Hare grabs itself back to her hand. The March Hare can just banish the Ramson later. You have negate with the Code Talker adding Nister as well. Like, this is just incredible. Yeah, this is our end board. I want you to understand this. This Achishi Nister became a +8. This is the new Snake Eye Ash. And this is the new Snake Eye Poplar. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's safe to say Maliss is in a good spot right now. I think, unironically, it's going to become the best deck. I really do think that we have enough tools and with enough cards in this archetype that just make all of this playable. This deck can play through almost anything now. The interruptions this deck make are really just absurd, and there are so many extenders that we can play in this deck. Like, for example, we have that, we have the Chaos Space Engine, we have the Bestials, we have the Dangers, we have the added Nisters. Like, there's just way too many cards that make this deck work. Now let's just showcase you a fun replay. This is just using all these cards in our hand. Let's see everything we can do as part of our end board. Let's see if you can keep up. Like, some of this stuff that you're seeing are typical Maliss stuff by now. We're just coming to summon Hare from the deck since we already filtered through all the names. We grab the Hare back. We're going to summon the Hare. We're going to link for Firewall. This goes back. We grab the March Hare back. We grab the Chessie cat back because of Firewall. We're going to summon SP. We're going to banish with the cat. We're going to summon multiple Bestials. We're going to use the I Meet You to grab Achichi, grab the backup. We're going to link all this for Cryptor. We're going to summon the backup. We're going to grab another March Hare. We're going to summon the Griffin. We're just going to summon this again. And we're going to link away all these for the Akodai Nister. And we're just going to grab with Manamut in the end phase. And yeah, with an end board like this, I don't see you losing the game. Honestly. We have an Omni Negate. We have like a lot of follow-up. We have like multiple layers of interruptions. This is just a walking floodgate. Yeah. Welcome to Alliance Insight format. Yeah, I really like this deck. I think a lot of people already know that. Yeah. Stay tuned. More Maliss videos coming soon. I hope you found this informative to your liking and understanding. This was very fun to make. Yeah, grab your Achichi Nisters when you while you can.